Oh, a great morning to be on the boat, and I think the sun is almost at its peak right now. We're here in English Bay, or False Creek, I think. False Creek, is that where we are? English Bay. We're in English Bay this morning, hanging out with the Burnaby Power and Sail Squadron. We're talking boating safety. What do you need before you get on the water? That's all coming up next from the water on BT. Yeah, what a beautiful morning it is. Again, we are in English Bay now. We're going to be in False Creek later. And Rob, we know, most of us know that to actually get on the water, at the very least, you need this Pleasure Craft Operator's Card, which is fairly easy to get, and that almost is a little bit scary to me.
Yeah, they're actually a little too easy to get. You read a small book, take the test online, and you never have to have actually ever been on a boat. So, I mean, the next thing you want to do after that is actually take like a proper boating course.
Okay.
Where you learn about things like navigation and boating safety and, you know, how to get out, how to get home. Very
important stuff, because I mean, it would be like going on the road with a driver's license having never been in a car, because it's not, you know, you might not have to worry about yourself, but you got to worry about the other people that are out there. So if you can get that card, that just gives you that much more knowledge. So we're going to learn a little bit throughout the morning about that kind of stuff. How long does it take to take a course to kind of get that extreme knowledge?
The full course is a 12-week course.
Okay.
It's broken up into sections, so it's like 6 weeks a section.
Okay. So the time commitment and for the long-term knowledge is great. Now, there are also safety things that we need to have. Obviously, we've got our PFD. That is first and foremost. And these ones are great because once you hit the water, it actually just...
They self-inflate.
But if I spill my coffee?
No, they will not. Okay. You can be out in a driving rainstorm in BC and they will not self-inflate.
What else do we have here?
Here we have a throw bag, so if you fall over, it's a floating line that we can throw to you so we can pull you back to the boat.
Heads up, someone will be rescued this morning on Breakfast Television. And finally?
And finally, we have a flare gun. If absolutely everything goes wrong, pop one of those up in the air and the Coast Guard will show up and save you in their spectacular fashion.
All very important information, especially Jody and Reyes, as we get into Celebration of Light, the fireworks. There's going to be lots of activity on the waters. We want to make sure people are as safe as they can, and we are going to get into more detail about all the aspects of boating safety throughout the morning. Oh, so relaxing out here, right? Yeah, Olivia? Oh, Olivia nodded. Too. Yeah, we're having a great morning as we're going to be navigating our way into False Creek after the break. We'll be right back. Shh, quiet, Olivia. Oh, you're awake now. You're awake. We're going to have some fun. Yeah, you might have problems, obviously, in traffic. Thor's going to have those details, but there could be problems out on the water, and you need to navigate. You need to be able to make your way, and we're going to be doing that into False Creek, right, Rob?
We are. We're going to navigate our way into False Creek. As opposed to traffic lines, we have traffic buoys, which you keep the red ones on your right on your way in.
So we've got some out here right now.
Yeah, you have your speed limit. Basically, that's your speed limit sign on the water.
Okay.
Going into False Creek, it's a 5-knot speed limit.
And we're going to go forward here. I think we're still kind of, are we still kind of going backward or what? There we go. We got, by the way, we've got Brent driving back down below. So we're going to make our way forward here. So what are the other kind of concerns that we have? Because obviously we're getting to that busy season. We're dealing with the fireworks that are coming up.
We are. And the problem with fireworks is the people that have just gotten their card and not actually taken the boating course are out here, and they're not really sure what all the buoys are for and what they mean, and you run into problems.
So when we're dealing with, because let's get some tips that are out here right now. When someone is on the water, who's got the right of way? Obviously, we're talking about things like speed limits. What are some of the other hazards we need to look for?
Well, yeah, the speed limits are a big hazard. Going into False Creek, the ferries are crazy. They're everywhere. There's hundreds of them.
Do they have the right of the way?
They do.
Okay.
And the best thing to do is just stay out of their way. And if you maintain your speed limit and stay out of the way, they'll stay out of your way, and everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy because it's supposed to be fun. So just a few of the tips that you'll learn. For more details, of course, on the Burnaby Power and Sail Squadron, you can check out their website. But we got more tips coming up throughout the morning on BT. Oh yeah, and we finally made our way to False Creek, and coming up after the break, we're going to be dropping the anchor. But what a beautiful morning. Look at so many things to do out here on the water. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And if I could find someone...
We couldn't have chose a better office, Rob. This is absolutely gorgeous out here. This is
I've
what
worked
you get
in
to
worse
do.
places.
No kidding, no kidding. And of course, we've made our way now from English Bay, and we're finally in False Creek. But what do we need to know, and what do we need to have before we actually can drop anchor?
Well, the first thing you need is your anchoring permit for False Creek. You get this just as you're coming under the bridge. There's a little houseboat just on the left-hand side on your way in. You get your permit.
So you can't just park wherever you want. You have to get a permit.
You have to get your permit, and then you come up here and you drop your anchor.
Because we would want to hang out here as long as we can. Let's talk through the mechanics of the anchor.
The mechanics of the anchor, you have your actual anchor. You have your anchor chain, which is your anchor rod, is what we call it. You have your anchor winch, which does all the heavy lifting for us, so we don't actually have to worry about that. I
can actually hit it?
Down. You sure
So
step
this
on
one
the
right
down
here?
button.
Just step on it.
Step on it, and away goes your anchor. Keep stepping on it.
Oh, keep stepping on it.
Keep stepping on it.
And so what do we need to know about the different depths and everything as far as where you can anchor and the amount of, I guess, chain that has to go down?
You want to anchor in a place with a good mud bottom,
Okay.
so you get good holding with your anchor, and you want a place where you can let out a scope of about 5 to 1. So if it's 10 feet deep, you want to let out about 50 feet of chain, and that way your anchor's got a good angle on it and it grabs onto the mud. You can probably get off that now.
I can get off it now. And this is all stuff that people will learn when they take the boats.
Absolutely.
The boating course with you. Yeah, awesome. And we'll say hello to Brent up there, who's been hanging out with us. Of course, it can be a bit of a deal breaker for people that are anchoring, right?
It can. It can. I have seen people get a tad anxious while anchoring.
Exactly.
And there's ways to do it without ever speaking, and we do teach that.
Very good. More details, you can check out their website. Coming up, I have to say, Jody and the Riaz, this is going to be really fun. Just before 9 o'clock, somebody is making their way into the water, and someone will have to rescue somebody making their way into the water. I was just thinking asteroids. I'm on board with Jody there. Asteroids was one for sure. But you know what? What do you need electronic playthings for when you have the beauty of the water? We're, of course, here in False Creek. We're talking boat safety. You know, it's all fun and games until someone goes overboard. What happens when that happens? We're going to tell you what you need to do. Stay with us. Boat safety. And you know, Rob, of course, beautiful day like this, you can't help but have a great time. But in that hopefully unlikely circumstance that someone goes overboard, it's important that we're prepared, right?
It is. It is. You have to have your proper safety equipment with you. You have your throw bag in case they fall in. You have your life ring, which is always a fabulous piece of equipment to have handy on the off chance that something goes wrong.
In the off chance that something goes wrong. So we're going to show somebody going overboard. We're literally going to have a man overboard. So Brent, let's get you on out here. Of course, Brent's been driving the boat all morning long. So Brent, you're going to get thrown overboard, and I think there's got to be the perfect person to throw him overboard,
there
right?
has to be somebody better than me.
How about his wife?
Oh, she would be just the one.
She is just the one. That's Sarah, by the way. Okay, so we're all ready to go. How do you have, first of all, before we get Brent in there?
You would put your hand through the loop.
Okay.
And then hold the bag, and you throw the bag over his head, and he's good to go.
You know I'm not very good at throwing,
That's
right,
okay.
Brent?
He's not good at swimming.
So Brent, hopefully you're going to be okay with pushing him. Sarah, go ahead. Brent is going accidentally, quote unquote, overboard.
Oops.
Oops, he's overboard. So now what do we do? Do we go man overboard,
now we go
overboard?
man overboard.
And throw?
And
how did I do there?
You did brilliantly.
Okay.
That is remarkable.
Oh.
There's the life jacket.
Everything worked as it should, And then what do? We pull him in?
Now we pull him towards the boat.
Okay. Now what do I need to do to make sure that I'm not now pushing myself into some sort of danger?
Stand behind the rail.
Okay, behind the rail.
And that way you've got the support of the rail. We pull him into the boat.
Okay, and hopefully he doesn't knock his noggin on the side there.
And we have our ladder around the back, so we will ever so gently guide him around the back of the boat.
I'll let you continue to do that. By the way, if you're interested in boating safety, Burnaby Power and Sail Squadron, you guys offer these boating safety courses.
We offer these boating courses all year long. Boatingcourses.ca shows all the boating courses for the entire Lower Mainland.
Excellent. So for more details, check out their website.